This year, our school implemented a new policy mandating that our grades would only be updated once a week. I'm here to argue against this change. I believe that our online gradebook, PowerSchool, should be updated in real time. The policy is wildly unpopular, for one. On a survey I conducted of 100 fellow students, only 2 liked the change. The purpose of this new policy, according to the school, is to reduce stress in teens brought about by overchecking grades, as well as preventing the influx of emails teachers receive every day regarding grades. Now, stress is an important issue. It can cause insomnia, depression, mood swings, even drug use, according to the Mayo Clinic, and one that's become more prevalent over the years, especially for teens. However, being unaware about our grades only magnifies it. In the same survey, I asked whether the new rule had reduced students' stress levels, and 89% of respondents actually said it made them more stressed. When asked what they liked about the policy, the most common answer was nothing at all, while negative opinions were much more common, with only one student liking everything. One respondent chose every negative option and added that the change was annoying and frustrating. So at least from the perspective of the students, the new policy certainly didn't achieve what it intended to. Yet another unintended consequence is that when students find something unexpected in their gradebooks on Friday, they all email their teachers at once, disrupting their weekends. The PowerSchool updates tend to be very inconsistent, and students were never given any real information about the change from the school. Anything we found out about it came either from teachers or friends who also didn't really know how it would work. We'd been told the school would update our grades on Fridays, but when exactly this would be was never specified. During the first tumultuous weeks of school, we found that sometimes they would update at midnight, sometimes at 11, sometimes at 4. And this led to us checking our grades constantly on Fridays, even more so than we did prior to the rule's implementation. The way grades are entered is inconsistent as well. Typically, assignments will appear in our gradebook as they're graded in real time, but the overall grade won't be affected until Friday. But sometimes, overall grades change and students can't see why because the disorganized flood of assignments makes it impossible to tell which one caused it. Additionally, some teachers have taken to inputting hidden assignments as a way to get around the rule, which affect the overall grade in real time, but keep the individual assignment hidden until Friday. All of these changes, while attempting to help us students, only make things more muddled for us. Speaking of, since we can access assignment grades anyway, the update didn't accomplish anything at all. We can calculate our overall grades on our own. The only difference is that grades are no longer organized by subject and instead are all jumbled up in the assignments list. Beyond our own opinions of the systems, research has shown that the use of online gradebooks actually improves student performance. For example, one teacher from Education World found that using his own classes for some data collection, there's a 400% greater chance of a student receiving a deficiency notice if he or she has not checked the online grading portal. A study done by Seton University found that when controlling for confounding variables such as race, gender, economic status, and prior achievement, the number of parent portal logins had a weak but positive association with student GPA. Another study introduced real-time gradebooks to new school districts and, when controlling for the initial motivation and parental involvement, found that increased time spent on the gradebook correlated with higher grades and tended to further motivate students. It also found that the only complaints about the system were purely technical in nature, and that most parents thought it improved trust and accountability with their teens. Some argue that restricted grade access prevents overzealous parents from pressuring their children over grades. This New York Times article believes that some parents interpret the school's invitation to constantly monitor grades and scores on the portal not as an option, but as an obligation, and even recommends a metered release of grades to combat this problem. However, parents aren't the ones primarily affected by this issue. If it truly is a problem, why not only restrict parents' view of PowerSchool? As high school students, we are learning to take responsibility for ourselves and our grades. Parents shouldn't be checking constantly or emailing teachers. That's our job. Resources like PowerSchool used to not exist. The reason they were developed is because as technology improved, we gained the skill necessary to keep as up-to-date as possible about important things like news or friends, or, in a high school student's case, grades. Irresponsible use of these resources does not mean we should go back to the days of handwritten report cards. It means we should teach our students to use these resources responsibly. If our teens are too stressed from the impossible pressure of academics, extracurriculars, and societal expectations, don't slap a band-aid on the issue by hiding our grades so we have nothing to be stressed about. Recognize that there's a bigger issue here and work on actually reducing stress for youth.